These days, dreams come with a heavy price tag, especially for high earners. A $50,000 automobile, a $500,000 house, a few more $1,000s to get a good education for your kids, and even more for a decent retirement. To avoid having to scramble to pay for your aspirations, you need to create a thorough financial plan the moment you start earning more. Here are a few tips that can help. 10. Work with a budget. Earning high is good, but that isn't what makes you rich. It's your spending habits that have the ability to make or mar you financially, not your income. As soon as you get a raise, your next step should be to create a budget. It is not difficult at all. It is a straightforward task that simply involves matching up your income with your expenses. Knowing how much you spend on various items is the goal. You can record your monthly expenses using a straightforward diary, an Excel sheet, a smartphone app, or a PC. You'll discover that your expenses may be broken down into 3 areas after creating a budget for 3 to 4 months: entertainment, discretionary spending, and necessity. 9. Start saving. You don't want all your hard-earned cash to disappear into thin air, do you? Then start saving now. Put aside 10, 20 of your monthly earnings once you've calculated your outgoing expenses before you start spending. Start with your bank account if you are unsure of where to place it. A sweep-in account with a fixed deposit attached is preferable, since it will earn you a return higher than the 4s you receive from your savings account. This will ensure that your money starts working for you right away and help you develop a lifelong saving habit. You don't want your money to be sitting around idly, because with so few obligations and liabilities, now is the perfect time to save and take advantage of compound interest. Even if you just save a modest amount at first, the earlier you start saving, the longer your funds will have to grow. 8. Create personal financial goals. You've begun saving, but will you have enough money in 10 years or even in 5 years to purchase a house or even a car? A big part of financial freedom is not having to worry your mind about the what-ifs of this life. People frequently save and invest vigorously, but they do so recklessly, endangering their objectives. Regardless of age, this is a mistake that most investors make. You need to set clear goals. Don't only think about the items you wish to pay for, actually write them down. Sort your objectives into 3 groups: short, medium, and long-term objectives. Then clearly list each one, along with how many years it will take to accomplish each one, and how much money you will need. Once you've written down your objectives, you'll be able to estimate how much money you'll need to put aside and for how long. Also, keep in mind that these milestones could change a little as a result of your changing circumstances, such as getting married or having kids. The relevant changes will then need to be made. If you believe that you are unable to accomplish this on your own, seek the assistance of a financial advisor who considers your unique needs and preferences. 7. Invest your money in the right things. How many billionaires do you know that have grown their wealth to the level that is currently with a savings account? Guess that says it all. Savings alone can never be enough. Yet, where to invest is the largest problem that most high earners have. It's easy. Just try to start up by picking straightforward instruments like a fixed or regular deposit. If you are unfamiliar with a particular instrument, go with options that are accessible and provide liquidity like those found in a bank. Basically, you should choose an investment vehicle based on your goals and time horizon. Despite the fact that this is merely a generalization and you are still learning and unfamiliar with the investing world, proceed with caution until you are more knowledgeable. Go by the mantra that any investment scheme that isn't simple enough for a child to understand is not worth going into. Instead of following the counsel of your parents and well-wishers at face value, do your own investigation. 6. Tax savings are to be maximized. Due to their low salaries and lack of understanding regarding the taxability of various instruments, most new earners do not prioritize saving money on taxes. However, if you are a high earner, do not focus on investing only to reduce your tax liability, because some expenses may be worthwhile. Calculating investment returns after accounting for taxes is very crucial in doing this. You can also reduce your tax liability by negotiating a tax-friendly wage structure with your employer. 5. Find the insurance that is best for you. We'll get to that in a second. I have a favor to ask of you. If you like this video so far, please subscribe to the channel. The world we live in these days is quite unpredictable. To arm yourself against unannounced curveballs, you'll need insurance. The primary goal of insurance is to reduce the risks in your life, not to generate income. However, due to the goods on the market that provide both, the majority of people confuse it with investment. Even though you might not think you need any kind of coverage while you're young, it's helpful to be aware of the many kinds of possible dangers when you're just getting started with large finances. The allure of tax savings and the pressure to have tax planning elements in place before the end of the fiscal year can lead one to make foolish decisions. 4. Always be ready for emergencies. The high-wage workers frequently neglect emergency financial planning because they are so preoccupied with the excitement of earning money, the need to buy goods, and the need to prepare for larger goals like a house and a car. You must be prepared for unforeseen events, whether it be a sudden job loss, a medical emergency, or a family member who suddenly needs financial assistance. Building an emergency fund should therefore be done first, even before you start saving for other shorter-term goals. This should cover your living expenses for 3 to 6 months, as well as any loan repayments and insurance premium payments. This sum should be put into a vehicle that is both easy to access and immune to market swings. An ideal solution? Store money in a sweep-in bank account, liquid fund, or short-term debt fund. Your money will be easily accessible and earn a better interest rate as a result. Some people also like to utilize credit cards to get through difficult financial times, but keep in mind that you should only use them for 1 month at a time. Otherwise, the cost of borrowing will be too high and the purpose will be defeated. Save the money from your paycheck for a rainy day instead of going on a spending binge. 3. Never roll over credit card dues. Watch out for debt traps. As you start making more money, you are probably the person who is most at risk from debt traps. It's challenging to control one's inclinations toward consumerism when one has few obligations and the newly acquired power of money and credit cards. You ought to be aware of the distinctions between needs, wants, and greed. The road to financial hell is not solely made up of credit cards. When you start working, you may incur liabilities in a variety of ways. Because the cards carry a very high interest rate of almost 3 per month, they do not roll over the due amount and instead return in full. This is a fundamental guideline for using a credit card. People often accept lucrative offers on cards since there are so many of them available. Avoid taking out loans for pricey appliances even if they have 0% interest offers. The sum of them will affect your other investments. Set a limit on your expenditures such as 20 of your salary. However, if you lack self-control, utilize a debit card. 2. Don't take too many loans. We understand that it might be difficult to spoil loans completely. Nonetheless, never use more than 45s of your salary to pay off debt, with the remainder going toward other types of debt, such as automobile and credit card loans. 25 to 35% should go toward paying off the mortgage. It is simple to give in to the impulse considering the simplicity of obtaining a personal loan with pre-approved amounts. Be aware that personal loans, which charge 2024's interest annually, are among the most expensive lending types after credit cards. Take great care to avoid these. 1. Don't sign on as a guarantor for loans too easily. You may be an easy target for a debt trap if you're single, working a high-paying job with many close buddies around that you can't refuse. If you agree to act as a guarantee for a friend's loan, be aware that you may be required to pay back the debt if the friend is unable to. Your ability to get a loan will be impacted by the guarantee amount, which will appear as an outstanding liability on your credit card. Therefore, be cautious before approving a similar agreement. I just don't know how much to save and where to invest, so I don't budget and end up spending a lot is a problem that many high earners encounter. But we're confident that this video has answered all of your questions. Remember, the day you get your money in order is when you will attain financial freedom, not the day you start working. But the journey doesn't end here. If you're ready to start improving your financial well-being, take action now. Check the first link in the description for our Frugal Living ebook. Our comprehensive guide covers everything you need to know about living a frugal and rewarding life, including creating a budget, identifying areas for cost-cutting, and finding affordable alternatives to everyday expenses. It's never too late to start making smart financial decisions.